One line almost runs into another line, and the other line now says, "Look out, you almost intersected me." Then the other line says, "Excuse me." Get it? Skew lines. But we won't be working with skew lines today. We'll actually be working with intersecting lines and the angles that those lines create. So first of all, we need to have an intersecting line. We're talking about 3 lines at least. So you have 2 lines and another line that crosses through both of them. This special line that crosses both of them is called the transversal. So it is the line that intersects 2 or more coplanar lines. In this case, you can see the transversal is line T. Now, one of the interesting angle pairs that you can make are called corresponding angles. So these are angles that lie on the same side of the transversal, which I've highlighted again in yellow. So they're going to either both be above in this example or both be below. Then they're also on the same side of the corresponding line. So they're either going to be, in your case, to the right or to the left. So here you can see angle 1 is below the transversal, and it's to the right of the first line at that intersection. So for the corresponding line, you can just travel down the transversal to the next one, and it's also going to be below the transversal and to the right of that line. So those two are corresponding angles. So let's look at an example here, and we're going to identify all the corresponding angles for the first set of angles in this intersection here. So the first thing you always want to do is identify your transversal. I'm going to try to find the corresponding angle for A, angle A, which is highlighted in blue. So I slide down the transversal to the next intersection, and you can see angle A is above the transversal. So it has to be either angle E or angle H. But angle A is on the left side of that other line, the one that's not the transversal. So I want an angle that's also on the left side, which would be angle E. Doing the same thing for B, now I'm below the transversal, and we're going to slide on over to the intersection here. So I need either angle F or G because it has to be below. But since it's corresponding, it's also to the left of the line, so I need to pick the angle to the left of the line, which would be angle F. Now, going from angle C, you can probably see that we stay below the transversal and to the right of the other line. Angle D would be above the transversal and to the right of the other line. So angle D and angle H are all corresponding angles. Another set of angle pairs are called alternate interior angles. So one thing we should discuss is the interior. How do you know which one is the interior? So you know this is the transversal. The interior is all the space between the 2 lines that are not the transversal. I've colored it in gray here. So we have alternate sides of the transversal. So it's going to be on, one will be above, one will be below in this case, and in between the other 2 lines. So here I picked angle 1, and then since I'm below the transversal here, I've got to go to the other side for angle 2. In example 2, there are only 2 alternate interior angle pairs in the diagram. So I need to, first of all, identify my transversal, and the interior means that I'm between these 2 lines right here. So I'm going to start with angle D, which is between the 2 lines, and since it's alternate, that means instead of staying above the transversal, I have to go below it. So angle D and angle F are alternate interior angles. Now looking at, there's still another set of angles that are between the 2 lines, angle C and angle E. And that is another pair. You can see that C is below the transversal and E is above it. That's where the alternate comes into play. And they're both between the lines, the other lines that are not the transversal, and so that's where the interior comes into play. Now we have same side interior angles. Well, just like before, interior is still between the 2 lines, but instead of alternating on the transversal, we stay on the same side. In this case, we're staying below the transversal. And you can see angle 1 and angle 2 are both below and the transversal, and it's between the two lines. Example 3. So now I'm going to do two same side interior angles, and first of all, identify your transversal. I have to be on the inside, so any of these four angles will do. We'll start with angle D. Since it's the same side interior, the one that goes with angle D has to be on the same side of the transversal and still inside. That makes it angle E. The other pair starts with angle C, and the other one on the interior side is angle F. Now we have same side exterior angles. So exterior means outside. If you've ever heard of exterior house paint, that is outside of the two lines. So first of all, you see my transversal. And so these are the two lines that aren't the transversal. And so I'm talking about the outside of those two lines. Since it's on the same side, that means it has to be both should be above or below the transversal. In this case, we're picking both the angles that are below the transversal. So in example 4, hopefully it's numbered right in your notes, we'll start, we're doing the exterior. So my angles on the exterior are A, B, G, and H. I'll start with angle A. First, I like to highlight my transversal though. Then I've got angle A. Since it's the same side, it needs to be above the transversal. So angle A and angle H are a same side exterior angle pair. The other pair I have is angle B, which is below the transversal and on the exterior, the outside, and angle G, which is also on the exterior. So angle B and angle G are same side exterior angle pairs. Our last set of angle pairs are alternate exterior angles. So again, like before, we're on the outside of the two lines that aren't the transversal. And there's my transversal again. Now the alternate means that I'm going to switch across a transversal. So they both have to be outside the two lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. Starting with angle 1, I'm above it, so I alternate to below it for angle 2 here. In our last example, I identified two of the pairs that are alternate exterior. So we know the exterior angles here are A, B, G, and H. So let's start with identifying our transversal, and I have angle A. So that's on the outside, and now I need to be below the transversal, but on the other outside, right there, angle G. So angle A and angle G are alternate exterior angle pairs. Then if I look at angle B, which is also on the outside, then I switch to angle H. Notice how B is below and on the outside, H is above and on the outside. They should never be right next to each other. They will always be alternating across that. They should always be crossing that space. Now for your reflection. Could two angles be corresponding and same side interior angles? Why or why not? And you may want to draw a sketch, say draw a transversal and two lines that cross it. Can you have corresponding angles that are same side interior? So think about it and do the best you can.